Boom.
No, it's the.
Boom.
I'll try to find music that matches that.
I just gave you music.
What's up, F3 the Union? Hope you all are doing well. Unfortunately, this is another one that I'm not able to attend in person or live, I guess. But I'll be on the beach when this takes place, so I'll take it. We got a special guest, Vagabond. He's him, taking center stage tonight on the podcast. I'm super pumped that he was voted by you guys to be him of the month. He absolutely deserved it. I was lucky enough to be able to spend a full week in the Canadian wilderness with this guy. He's got a lot of good things to say. He's got a lot of good ideas. He's a family man. He's always trying to be better, and he very well deserved. So looking forward to hearing what he has to say. You got Shrink on the mic. You got Jen A on the mic. It's always interesting. Should be a good time. I can't wait to listen to it myself. But all right, time for 29 seconds with Nantan. This month we are going to focus on comparison. I thought this was important this month because we got the fitness testing going on. The fitness testing is not about comparing yourself to other guys within the region. It's about you versus you. It's about how have you gotten better month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year, right? So with that said, we'll jump into the 29 seconds. No stupid timer, so I can take as much time as I need. But I'll try and keep it pretty close to that 29 seconds. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. When we just live in a state of comparison with other people, well, we get discouraged from that. But when we live in the mindset of what we have been given, you have a chance every day to wake up and be your best. What did God give you? How has He equipped you? Why has He put you here? When you can understand that, you don't have to live in a form of comparison. You can start living your best life. Why do I look like that? Why don't I have that? Why can't I be better than that? What did God give you? Go make the most of it.
And he makes it just in time. Well done, VP. Well done. It's always good to hear the encouraging feedback, suggestions, and calls to action from After the Union's Nantan Village People, aka VP.
Pretty sure he gives like a roll into us. So I'm keeping it that way though. That's hilarious.
The thing with all of these things that we live in, I think, is only we know they're funny.
Right. Well,
which I'm okay with.
Everyone can tell that they're funny because we're laughing so hard.
We're laughing.
Yeah.
Can't you tell we're having a good time?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny for you?
I mean, it's like a live studio audience, you know? They let you know when to laugh, so you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, very much so. All right, well, this evening we've got our hymn of the month for the month of June. Zeke Bolin, a.k.a. the Vagabond. This is where we get some background noise going. There we go. Well done.
He's enthusiastic as ever.
Yeah.
He's been talking our ears off the entire time. Couldn't get him to shut up.
He has a lot to say tonight. He has a lot to say, and we're excited to hear about it. We're excited to hear what Vagabond's got for us. But before we do that, we're going to run through some F3 the Union announcements. And what if, Vagabond, what if we let you lead us off with the Bluffton announcement?
Sure. Yeah, so thanks, guys. Pleasure to be here with you tonight. First announcement here would be here in a couple of weeks, my bro-in-law, Bagash, is going to be leading the launch of F3 Bluffton. If you don't know where Bluffton is, it's kind of northwest Ohio, about a little over an hour from Marysville. So he joined a few workouts here down in the Union a couple months ago and couldn't get enough, so decided to bring it back home. So the launch for the Bluffton workouts will start August 6th, which is here in a few weeks. However, the pre-launch workouts will be starting next Tuesday. whatever day that is. That is the
26th.
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah. So if we can make it there, that'd be great. Just to support. I'll be going on the 23rd as well as the 6th. So if anybody wants to carpool, let me know. But yeah, should be a good time. Looking forward to getting F3 up there. I know there's a lot of guys up there that can use it just like us. So pretty excited about it.
Do either of you have any guesses for the manufacturing that occurs in Bluffton, Ohio?
Manufacturing. Grobe is there. I know they do like or like assembly lines for like auto manufacturers. I think.
Grobe, solid guess. Grobe has made their Wikipedia page. However, the first one, though, says modern manufacturing in Bluffton includes the international firm Sumitomo Rico,
Mm-hmm.
a cooperative venture between Duramax and Tokai Rubber of Japan, which suggests to me they make condoms there.
Hey, yo.
Specialty Japanese condoms you can purchase only in Bluffton, Ohio.
Sounds like a good sponsor for our first CSOP up there.
Sure does. Duramax, and Tokai Rubber. Imagine the condoms they could make. Man, it's like if Honda started making condoms.
It's just like that.
I love the idea of all of the. What if actually all of the Honda guys were working on condoms this whole time? All those engineers. Somebody has to engineer condoms.
Yeah, someone's got R&D at the condom companies, right?
Yeah, I mean, if there was one Honda engineer part of F3 who it might be, my guess is Bluey.
100%.
It's just so hard
No
to
doubt.
imagine any engineers having any expertise in that field. Zing! Got him.
Blue, I'd like you to know that this is your first mention in 6 months of After the Union podcast, and it came with the suggestion that you're making condoms.
You're welcome. You will be tagged accordingly and expected to listen to the entire rest of the podcast.
Yeah, we're going to talk about you so much more. Keep listening. Don't stop now.
Yeah, we just know it.
All right. Yes, that is our first announcement. Vagabond, thanks for introducing yourself. I realize another thing we should do, we should act like we don't know you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's how podcast opens. It's like, wow, it's so great to be with you. I've been looking forward to this conversation all week. I've heard so much about you, man. This is going to be a great time. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm just sitting out here in my garage, sweating my balls off.
There you go.
You know, just enjoying life with some fellow dudes here. So,
See, that's the intro. All right. We're going to add this to our list of things to change. Act like we don't know you when we begin. All right. Announcement 1, Bluffton. Announcement number 2, fitness testing is going on. It happened last week at the factory, going down next week.
There's one this week in Richwood. There's one next week at the Red Zone.
There we go. Do it, even if you're not feeling great. Just do it. See where you are. Find out where you've been accelerating and where you have not.
I have a new challenge. It's watch out. It's a challenge.
Let me add this to the list.
dang it.
It's show up to the beatdown or the fitness testing, and try your hardest and aim to be the worst performer.
I don't have to try too
Because
hard for that.
no, you'll be disappointed about how good you do.
Go to the beatdown. Try your hardest to be the worst.
And then be surprised at how difficult that is for you.
To be the worst.
Yeah,
So you want to be so good that it's hard to be bad.
exactly.
I'm in such good shape. I couldn't even suck if I tried. Is that what you're
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yep.
we'll work on that.
That's the core of what I was trying to say. It came out a little choppy, I'll admit, but
Okay.
I think the sentiment was there.
All right, I'll be doing that. I'll be adding that to my challenges challenge. So appreciate it.
That's
Well,
another point.
One extra point for me, Vagabond. Good luck. No one's catching me on this challenges challenge.
I think I'm done with challenges after the Queen challenge.
Yeah, you are. Get out of here.
Done.
Yeah,
Less competition, baby. I'm gonna clear this.
Sure is. Jenny, other announcements.
We have Convergence upcoming on Saturday. I don't know where.
In Columbus, it's posted in First F Fitness, I believe, and Site Qs all have the information. It's in Columbus on the southeast or southwest side. Gucci's going down. He's going to carpool with some guys if you find yourself so interested. If you've never been to a Convergence before, it's always a good time, even with the Columbus guys.
Otherwise, I think we're playing a game at the plant.
That we are. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be basketball or wiffle ball, from what I've heard.
Both a great time. Convergence or
Vagabond,
wiffle ball.
We don't see you at the plant often. What's your Saturday deal?
Just spending time with the fam usually. Kind of my devoted day off, but yeah, usually I'm picking up donuts and we're having a nice family breakfast. Nice unhealthy family breakfast, but not this month. It was Queen Challenge.
Ooh. Sorry.
Yeah, usually I'm either doing stuff with the fam or we're out of town a lot on the weekends, to be honest. So it's not my favorite day to get up early and work out before that. But I do love some sports, so should try to make it out a little bit more often. It's always a good time.
I couldn't agree more. You'd very much to do that. All right. Have we any other announcements?
Well, I've heard a little whispers about summer nights coming up.
Ow, ow. They are as sexy as they sound.
Oh, yeah.
Men talking about man stuff. And by man stuff, I mean feelings, emotions, life, family, grief, loss, love. All the things worth talking about in life. We're going around to July. It's going to be July 28th. It's a Sunday evening, probably 8 to 10 o'clock again. We know it's the Queen Challenge. Uniball and I will absolutely be sipping some bourbon that night. If you want to bring some non-alcoholic brew, go for it. But,
I think an icebreaker for that conversation should be condoms.
Condoms, yay
Just
or nay?
Just broadly speaking.
Yeah, pros and cons of different brands.
We've
What's really
actually
going
you
on
know,
out there, and
funny enough, this isn't even the first time we have ventured into this topic of conversation.
Men love condom conversations, but hate condoms themselves.
You can't explain that.
No, he sure can't. Other announcement: Man Camp coming up in September. Likely to be September 28th. September 28th, Man Camp. Put it on your calendars now. I'm gonna put out a feeler post about 2.0 camp the night before, so that'd be the 27th. So ideally, we'd be able to do kids on the 27th. So set up tents that night, do some kid-friendly stuff, and campfire, hot dogs, playing games, doing kid stuff, and then we'd all go about doing our own Saturday things. Come back Saturday night for the Man Camp version of it with no kids.
Man Camp.
I'm sure that Jen A will break out the karaoke.
Hmm.
I don't think I sang last year.
That's not what I've heard.
I definitely sang the year before that, but
You may not remember singing. Could just be that.
that doesn't sound like me. I'm a prudent and responsible individual.
All right, I've gone through our list and I don't see any other announcements. So that has been announcements of the union.
Woo!
Hope you enjoyed that. And it was early on just for you, Ricky Bobby. He's the first person who was honest with us and gave us honest feedback. He was like, guys, I have to listen to an hour and a half of you just talk about nothingness until I get the actual announcements that I came here for.
To be fair, I've also gotten feedback from Playdate that he can barely hear us, which is I always try to get the levels just up.
Bro,
But-
look at this thing. How can you not hear me, Playdate? Look at this thing. This
I
is
mean,
great.
it's
Very
my
simple.
fault. It's my fault because I try to normalize the audio levels and I'm loud
Oh.
and you guys are quiet. So it tries to meet in the middle and just kind of makes everything quiet.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
Thank you.
You bet. You bet. If you have other feedback for us, go ahead and jot that down and stick it up your butt.
Got him. Got him.
All right. Next up, after our announcements, I'm supposed to not say next up. So coming up after what we just did, we'll be doing a different thing that will be occurring next.
But when is that occurring?
Man, next up is so much easier to say, guys.
I mean, you can say next up, it's fine.
Occurring consecutively.
And now.
We're gonna do our draft.
Draft.
We're gonna do our draft. It's time for a draft, guys. This draft might be the best one we've done yet.
I'll take a course light.
And we should do these with a few drinks in us.
Queen challenge. I can't. Can't let the
same here.
team down, bro.
Same here for sure. All right, this month's draft. It is the month of the Summer Olympics. They are coming your way from Paris, France. And so we're going to do an Olympic draft. The Olympic draft will consist of teams of 3. Each of us, Jenna, Vagabond, and myself, will select 1, an athlete, 2, a coach, and number 3, a hype man. You may define athlete, coach, and hype man however you would like for the sake of the draft. You need to explain your rationale, though. So make your pick, explain your rationale, because you might just be wrong.
Just
And
name
it's wrong.
someone and leave it plainly at that.
Vagabond, as our guest of honor, we'll give you the first pick. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, Vagabond, Jenna, Shrink, and then back to you again. And then you'll get 2 picks on the back end.
All right.
Do you understand how a snake draft works?
I think so. Yeah.
You're a step ahead of me.
All right, you sure are. It took us about 3 months for him to
Figure it
get it.
out.
Still might
I
mess
probably
this
don't,
up.
but we'll go for it.
Such a man thing to say. Yeah, I get it. Like that absolutely happened on Saturday playing rugby. Like Gucci was going through
Oh,
the
man.
rules, and as he's giving the rules, I'm just like talking.
Yeah.
Just like ignoring him completely, because every other time someone gives rules, we figure it out. Like, do this there, then run over there. Like, I'll figure it out. And so he gives the rules. He stops talking, and I look up and realize I don't even know how the game begins. I don't know the purpose of this game is.
Just smash skulls and just go at it.
Well, but the thing is, we did 2-hand touch.
Oh well, that mixes things up.
It made it very confusing because I'm not sure any of us really knows how to play rugby. Actually,
We did not play it correctly, but it was fun.
we made up our own rules and had a great time. All right, Vagabond, we need from you round 1 athletes. Give us your pick for your F3 the Union Summer Olympics team athlete.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Knievel.
Knievel. All right.
And
Why?
this was not an easy choice, but
They never are.
I was just trying to think about all the different sports. Some are, feats of speed, strength. Some, require some height. yeah, just trying to hit as many of those boxes as possible.
Mm.
And I'd say Knievel, he is always very impressive with his athletic abilities, especially for. I feel like I try to get out and exercise as much as I can, and he just comes out and just like shows me up every time. So, um, yeah, I would say Knievel would be a strong pick. I have a few others that were a close second, but
Agree. I didn't know where you were going there when you said Knievel is a strong pick because, in spite of, there might have been something juicy coming next.
Got the Knievel
old,
beef.
being, I'm trying to think of some mean things to say. I don't know. I just feel like Knievel always he's kind of like, pops in and out and just like destroys everybody. Like he'll run a faster mile than I do, even though I try to run all the time. So it's annoying.
Yeah.
But I would love to have him on my team as my Olympic athlete.
All right. You got Knievel for your Olympic athlete. Jenny, who do you have?
I'm picking the guy who manages to somehow just it's like every sport. He is elusive, quick, athletic, and a general pain in my butt because I'm never on his team.
You can't pick me. I'm doing it myself.
I'm picking myself. No, it's I'm picking my boy Bernie.
Bernie. Oh, I thought you were going Softy.
Everyone sleeps on Bernie. I mean, of course, Softy's very, explosive and physical and athletic as well.
Good pick.
I feel like Bernie's skill set might cover a wider breadth of sport.
I like that. All right. You guys have made good choices. I'm going to make a great choice now. I'm going to use the list here, and
it better be.
I'm going not with the top of the list
Boo!
Because VP is currently on IR, and he's been a little ouchy over the past couple of months. And so if you only get one athlete, you need somebody whose back can handle the weight of their country on it. And right now, VP's back can barely handle the weight of his ruck on it.
Not who I was thinking.
So I'm going with Bluey.
Bluey, all right.
Bluey has come back around to be named twice in this podcast. Going Bluey. Very similar reasons for Vagabond going with Knievel, which is all-around athlete, is going to show up. And I found out on the 4th of July, that man is competitive. And he wants to win. And when he wants to win, you better get the F out the way, because Bluey's coming through.
What happened on the 4th?
On the 4th of July, Bluey dug down real deep, and he found his dad voice. And he dropped it on us very clearly, very coherently, very cogently. Let us know that what was going to happen next. And we all stopped what we were doing and obliged.
Bluey's probably got some pretty good stamina too.
Oh, 100% he does. From the preparation from the R&D he's doing. Yeah. The exacts. I guess I realized not everybody would be there. I've told this story like 9 times now, and so I assume everyone has heard me tell this story. With Bluey, we're playing baseball on the 4th of July, and whoever's team I was on, who's on my team? Playdate was on my team, and Uniball was on my team. We were destroying them, and they were embarrassed by that. They were feeling pretty hurt about that. The game came to an end. VP calls time, and we're having a little back and forth on who's up to bat next, who gets the last at bat, and we're talking about, well, you didn't do that, we didn't do this, and we're just and Blue's in the field. Quaker's the pitcher. And Quaker's like awkwardly like, do I keep pitching because they're still up to bat, or do I stop pitching? And Bluey goes, Quaker, put the ball down. We're hitting. And Quaker put that ball down. Our entire team went from the dugout area to on the field very, very calmly with our eyes down, tail between our legs. And we continued to beat them in baseball, though. So,
is this the cheating drama, or is that something else?
It's probably connected.
Okay. glad I wasn't playing that game.
Yeah, you missed out on a good one. Man, that was the morning. Y'all gotta learn how to throw a baseball. I never realized how few men can just throw a wiffle ball across an imaginary plate 10 yards away.
I didn't throw nothing. Don't look at me. We had a 7-year-old pitch for us. He did great.
All right, I got Bluey for my athlete. Next up, I'm going coach. This also was a pretty easy choice for me, honestly. I knew I'd have the first pick here. And so I'm going with somebody who I know I can count on to be positive, somebody who I know I can count on because they've seen some things in their life and have overcome them, and somebody who I know knows how to motivate someone. And this is Playdate. I'm going Playdate. You just imagine you've had a couple days of events, all right? Your body's feeling the pressure. You're trying to recover. Maybe your first event didn't go as well as you wanted it to. Who else would you want putting their arm around you, encouraging you, picking you up, and getting you back out there on that track? Who else?
It's a good pick because it's exactly who I was going to pick. So first off, you're a weasel and a snake. No good. And I'm upset that you're going to win now. My turn.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to pick who was actually my first pick. I was trying to pull some punches, you know.
Ooh.
But I'm going with when you have a coach, you need someone who's patient, understanding, well-spoken, speaking from a point of experience and wisdom, able to eloquently state those positions to better your athlete. And that's going to be my man, Vixen.
Oh.
He's a stud for this spot for sure.
I like that one. I like that call. That's a good one. All right, Vagabond, you're up next, and you're going to have 2 picks here. So you're going to go coach and then hype man.
Awesome. You guys kind of went a different route on the coaches. I don't know. For me, any sports that I played, I always enjoyed the coaches that were hotheads. And,
okay.
weren't afraid to kind of put themselves out there for their team. Coaches that, had played the sport themselves, or, they know by their own experience with the sport. And yeah, so with that, somebody who's, super competitive, like myself. And yeah, the man that comes to mind is actually going to be Goosebumps.
Oh,
he wasn't going to get to you anyways, bro. I was going to pick him up.
Yeah, so Goosebumps, the thing that kind of sealed the deal for me with him being my coach was listening to him and Tyler from church. We were talking about Little League baseball, and he was explaining how he's helped coach his third base coach, I believe.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know what it is, but I can so easily picture Goosebumps out there on third base, just like hands on the knees,
Oh yeah.
Waving people through.
Oh yeah.
Throwing his clipboard, like all the stuff. I want a coach that's going to get fired up, which we've all seen Goose get a little fired up, a little competitive, which I can appreciate. Somebody's going to throw a chair if needs be. Yeah, so
such a good pick.
And yeah, I think he has kind of an overall sports knowledge that
agreed
would be beneficial as a coach. So.
Agreed. I mean, can you imagine anybody else who would be able to get in the face of an official or an umpire or referee and just, rip them a new one, write them up and down, while also doing it in a way, though, that's somehow a little respectful, acknowledges he may be wrong, but it's just adamant, though, that he's not.
Oh, yeah.
But also aware, though, that we're going to maintain a relationship. I could just see him getting kicked out of a game, but in the most respectful way possible.
Yeah, Goosebumps has like this way of vehemently standing for his the point he's trying to make while also not feeling like it's contentious at all,
Yeah.
which
It's
is
because
very
he's
good.
such a clown. He's so
I mean,
serious.
he's a
so-
goofball, but also
He's
like
so,
it's kind of
like,
a veil of
competitive and
above
like
the seriousness.
aggressively like strong on his
Yeah.
takes,
Yeah.
while also being just like hilarious. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice mix.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna pick him for my hype man. But I thought he could be a coach, hype man, and also could come in as a backup athlete for me. I had him pegged to be the trifecta, the chef's kiss to my third pick. So you ruined it for me.
All right.
All right. You have Knievel as your athlete. You've got Goosebumps as your coach. Who are you
Yep.
going for your last pick here? Your hype man.
Yeah. So again, I guess I'm kind of approaching this from like, okay, if I was the athlete, who would I want kind of on the sideline cheering me on, or pumping me up or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I'd have to go with Little John, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because he might not be the most like good job type, but that's not really what does it for me. It's the guy that's screaming at you, calling you names, get off the ground, whatever. That's what
Has
I
Little
need
John
on
been
my-
calling
on
you
my team.
names?
Dude, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, do you if you want, like, we can just have Jenna step out and cancel the recording. We can just talk for a little bit.
Yeah,
man.
if we just open up a little
Sounds
bit.
good.
Yeah, I mean, man, you want a coach who's going to yell at you? You want a hype man who's going to
Dude,
yell at you?
As you can tell, I like a high energy environment on a sports team. Lots of aggressiveness, in a positive way. But
When did you first notice this?
I don't know. Just
See, I noticed that when you were saying it, you naturally made a fist with your hand and even clasped those together.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't
Wonder
know.
what- that
Interesting.
means.
Interesting.
I had a weird. My high school basketball coach was an interesting guy. He was super quiet most of the time, but then he would just get livid. Like
Mm.
halftime of a basketball game, like he was throwing his clipboard at somebody,
Yeah.
in the locker room or whatever, and like we all respected him. Like it wasn't. I don't know. It was fine. It seemed fine.
Wasn't abusive. It was just
I mean, it was like on the verge of abuse, but no.
okay. Well, now I'm getting more concerned.
Oh no. So I guess it was just my upbringing, but so that's my team. I
Peel
I'll
the
get
onion
better,
back,
man. I'll
babe.
get
We
better.
got
That was-
layers.
That was just my upbringing. Because that's just how I was raised.
I'm thinking about
me and
my
me and my
rel-
9 siblings.
my relationship with my parents.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So that's my team. I
All
think
right.
I think we've got a strong go at it. We'll beat
Yeah,
Russia for sure,
Yeah,
so.
Knievel, Goosebumps, and Little John. I like that. I like that team. Jenna, before you give us your hype man, let me ask you this: do you have any memorable coaches from your life at all? Vagabond gave us a little coach story. You got any memorable coaches?
Memorable coach. None of my football coaches. They all kind of sucked.
Mm.
A memorable like teacher.
Yeah,
Kind of a coach.
yeah.
My history teacher in middle school, Mr. I don't even remember his name anymore. But, he was like my first blowhard that I had, and
You're what?
like a blowhard, like it's like slang for someone who is like straight edge. It's a common term. It's a common term. I'm not crazy here. Y'all are the ones who are off.
Never heard it.
Where did the teacher touch you?
I knew this was the follow-up question.
Yeah, I had to ask.
No, he was like the first very strict teacher that I had.
Mm.
And that like you couldn't even say yeah, you had to say yes. Stuff like that. It's very exacting, very precise.
Wow.
And it's like a formative year for me. I was in middle school and like kind of transitioning to being an older, It's a formative time in life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think really you can react one of two ways, or one of two ways in that situation is you either like dig your heels in or you like straighten up pretty quick.
Mm.
And I was, straightened up pretty quickly and reacted very positively to it with that. But I remember specifically there was this very in-depth project that we had to do, and everyone did like, it was this PowerPoint. Everyone did these big PowerPoint slides, tons of words, all that. And I just had followed very closely what he had said he wanted. Is like, I want a picture and then like a couple sentences.
Yeah.
And I'm watching everyone go before me. I'm like, I don't have enough information. These people did all this work. And then I gave mine, and it was like one of the most validating experiences because he says, like, go back through it. And you're like, oh God, I'm in trouble. Because, he's like very tense.
Yeah.
He's like, this is exactly what I wanted all of you other students to have created. And it's like, you just feel like you just like dunked on them,
Nice.
So it's like, that was the experience. It was like kind of tense,
Cool.
but so rewarding when you like do things properly and follow through.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah, you gave him the alley-oop pass.
Oh yeah. Straight to Brawny.
Oh, gosh. I've watched too many low light videos of Bronny James over the past week.
More or less than Angel Reese.
More Bronny. I watched more Bronny.
I saw this. Someone said Angel Reese plays basketball like a newborn baby deer, and it's just dead on.
Ooh. I haven't watched her enough to know. I was more of a Caitlin Clark fan.
Well, I was, Caitlin Clark fan, and then apparently you have to be an Angel Reese hater because Angel Reese talks a lot of smack, and so ipso facto, here I am knowing more about the WNBA than I have any interest in knowing.
I like them both, Clark and Reese.
Big fan.
All right. Jenna, you've got a pick for us. Who's your hype man?
I forgot. Let's talk
now you
about it.
you got Bernie as your athlete, Vixen as your coach. Who is your hype man?
I got a dark horse for my hype man. He's a little quiet, but he's, in my opinion, one of the more hilarious guys out there, and super supportive. Just overall good guy. I'm going with Honey.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Honey as the hype man. You want Honey in your corner. He's part of your crew.
He's a sweet guy.
I like that. I watched a lot of UFC over the past weekend. Sweet guy, I got it. And they have like there's like the guy, there's like the coach, and then there's just two other guys that are just like hyping him up, just there, just like, yeah, we got it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna knock him out. Come on, keep getting it.
I want to be the guy that puts the cold thing on their face.
Oh yeah, just holding it in spots.
It looks
hold it there.
Looks kind of fun. I don't know what I know they're trying to reduce swelling, but it's just funny. They're like cold block on your face. That's it.
I want to be Vaseline guy. You just little dab here, little bit there, little dab here, little bit there.
I want to be the Vaseline guy. We all have our dreams, man.
Just to let you know, you should not use Vaseline with condoms. Bad combo. Just so you know. It reduces the efficacy of condoms. You didn't know that. Don't use extra lube.
I'm not trying to reduce the efficacy of anything.
Want to increase all the efficacy.
Except for the efficacy of my haters.
That's the opposite of what you want to do.
Oh, my bad.
Man, ever since this show up to the beat down, but don't try, but do try really hard to not try. Even all this turned around here.
I kind of got lost in the plot on the definition of efficacy, but it's all coming together for me now.
All right, you got Honey as your hype man. All right. I'm gonna go with Bluey is my athlete. Playdate is my coach. My hype man, the guy that I want just there when you're feeling low, who can pick you back up, who can get the crowd on your side, who can make you laugh, can make you cry, could just be the guy you want in your corner for you. I'm going out to Richwood, and I'm picking up Stripper.
Oh yes, that's a good call.
That's what I'm bringing. When you are on your own in Paris, France, you want to hear that Southern twang. Like,
oh, because the Olympics are in Paris. Like, why the hell are you in Paris?
just because you are.
So what are you talking about?
As one is at times.
Me and the gentleman, we were in Paris.
Nah, when you're in Paris for the Olympics and you want to taste home, and you hear Stripper with the twang and the encouragement and the support, I mean, it's like you're gonna be back at a workout again, just grinding away, bringing home the gold for the US of A.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Really, you could take like about any of those Richwood guys, to be perfectly honest.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, the last call.
Yeah.
I mean, Muddy. Any of them. You just bring them out, and they'd be there for you.
Just good old boys.
All right. Here's who we've got. Vagabond's team: Knievel, Goosebumps, Lil Jon. Jenne's team: Athlete is Bernie, Coach is Vixen, Hype Man is Honey. And my team: Athlete is Bluey, Coach is Playdate, and the Hype Man is Stripper. Well done for the draft, boys. Vagabond, you very much picked it up. Impressive.
I won.
See, the cool thing is that we all get to win this.
Nope.
That's not how life works.
Yeah,
Thank you, Vagabond. You get second place for that comment. And Shrink loses as usual.
Automatically loses. Listen, we took Crossfire off the agenda today because Jenne was tired of losing.
I mean, not entirely untrue.
All right. You have just enjoyed F3 the Union Summer Olympics draft.
Whether or not you realize it.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Yeah, it says.
Yes.
It was such a great time. I need some some music at the end that's very like light and poppy. So everyone's like, so you're walking out of the theaters during the credits and they play like a top 40 hit and you're like, that movie was actually all right. I feel pretty good. It's like it's just the song at the end, man. You just like the song at the end.
I think that we may have found the catchphrase for our condom company.
Being
you liked it. You had a good time.
I don't think a lot of consensual things happen with that tagline.
and then when you throw the condom away, the box has a built-in speaker. It just plays some nice pop music. just some background tunes, maybe some Boys to Men.
Or we completely offload the whole conversation and just it is like a little after call survey on the back of the wrapper. Was it good for you? Check yes or no.
I like this idea. Immediate feedback in life.
Oh my God, we're geniuses. We should go to the launch just so we can potentially meet a guy that works there. And then our ideas are going straight to the top. Yeah. Do you work for Duramax?
No, get out of here.
I don't even want to talk to you. Not why I'm here, buddy.
The first F&G at that beatdown will just automatically be called Duramax.
Oh yeah.
No, we don't need to hear their story or anything like that.
Duramax for condoms because you're from Bluffton and they make condoms, Japanese condoms. All right. Following the draft, we now have the pleasure to chat for a bit with Vagabond. Vagabond is our hymn of the month for the month of June. And my favorite thing about Vagabond currently is that he voted for me for him of the month. So
what a guy.
Supposed to tell anybody, bro.
Oh, my bad. Was that secret?
I voted for you too.
He's my first official vote. Knievel throws me a pity vote, every now and again. And I appreciate those two, though. Just so you know, I'm taking all the votes I can get. So I get a vote. I will count that vote in the tally.
Quaker used to vote for me every month, and then I think he finally stopped.
He's like, this guy's never
He's like, this ain't happening. I still love you, Quaker.
It was like
He's-
Quaker was like voting for a third party.
Yeah, I'm like Ralph Nader. It's like, it's the right thing to do, but he'll never win.
Well, let me tell you all a bit about what the men of the union had to say about Vagabond. He's always consistent in beatdowns. He's been leading evening workouts and is always bringing FNGs. Voting for him for all the extra things he's done, from filling in at the floor and at the factory, helping with evening workouts, and leading all around. Leading evening workouts, marathon training, and planning a surprise birthday ruck. Leading the second F event at Ill Mannered, and a man of consistent acceleration. Someone else said he's always pushing himself at work and at home. He's integral in leading the evening workouts. He's thoughtful about life and his role as a father and husband, open and inspiring in the gloom. Another one here said he's everything we could wish to be as a hymn of the month. A rising hymn. Last one here. He's a man who isn't intimidated by a challenge, be that a half marathon or some delicious Culvers right after.
Amen.
And you did do that. You did do that. All right. Well, Vagabond, welcome again. And if you wouldn't mind, tell us about how you got your name, who EH'd you, and your first beatdown.
Yeah, so Village People EH'd me at church, just kind of introduced himself and gave me his card and, you know, all that stuff. Kind of let it go. I didn't do anything with it for a few months, and then I think it was in June of last year. I'm not sure if whenever the evening workouts were last year, if that was in June.
Yeah, probably June, July, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So my first beatdown was one of the evening workouts out at the reservoir. Ricky Bobby cued, and it was just I believe we just rucked around the reservoir. So I didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, I had a good time. I think I started attending here and there for a couple of months, but not very regularly. Yeah, then I actually went on a wilderness trip with some guys from my church, including VP.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the things that I kind of you know, I kind of knew about myself going into that trip, but was really you know, convicted about was you know, my fitness. And VP kind of EH'd me the second time and was like, hey, what, you know, make some commitments here to, you know, I was like, I'm going to start working out more. And he's like, what does that look like? You know, give me some steps to follow. So I told him 3 days a week starting out. And I don't know how long. I think I held that for a while, but you know, regularly attending, I really started to experience what F3 was. And to be honest, I think I quickly realized it was more than just the fitness aspect of things. I think it was actually, that was a very small part of what I've gotten out of F3 over the past year. And yeah, just kind of got sucked in, you know. I didn't realize I needed a group like this in my life. It wasn't something I was searching for. To be honest, it was, you know, just an exercise group for me at first. But yeah, definitely looking back, I can't imagine not having this group of guys. That's why I'm, you know, so excited about sharing it with others, and excited for those guys up Northwest Ohio.
Yeah.
Who might not realize what's coming their way, might not realize they can use this in their life, and it will be a huge impact for them. So
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, how did I get my name? So the story that I shared at my my first beatdown was when I think I was 15 years old. My good buddy growing up and I went to a camp. It was like 2 week like summer camp called Summit Ministries. It was up in Green Lake, Wisconsin, and uh, we we went, and it was this
Are
weird
you
situation.
from there?
Nope, no relation to Wisconsin other than Bigosh,
Okay.
who is from there, but
All right.
just so happened to be where the camp was. But yeah, so uh, there was this weird situation where when you got to the camp, you basically like deposited all your money that you were like bringing to spend throughout those 2 weeks into like a checking account they had like they're set up at the camp. It's kind of weird.
I think you're
But,
describing prison.
yeah. And it was our understanding that we got our money back at the end of the 2 weeks, the whatever we had left. And so we put all our money in and thought we were good. Well, last day of camp came and they were like, yeah, so we actually send you the money like via check. And we're like, wait, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, so it'll be coming in like 2 weeks. And we're like, well, we don't have any money to like get home. So we were actually planning on taking a Greyhound bus from Green Lake back home to Lima, Ohio.
Oh wow.
And it was like I think it was like a 14-hour Greyhound something through the night. It was kind of crazy. We had like basically 24-hour period from like leaving the camp to when we would get home.
Yeah.
That we kind of had to fend for ourselves. And we had 50 cents. I think it was 50 cents. Well, no. I'm sorry. We had $5 to spend for like 3 meals between two 15-year-old dudes. And so we went to Subway at the time. You had the $5 foot longs.
$5 foot.
And man, I'm telling you what, like I'm known to eat quite a bit, but at the time, like I could eat like 3 foot longs. And so splitting a foot long with my buddy was just like a light snack. And then we had 24 hours after that to make it home. So at one of the stations, the bus stops along the way home, it was like 2 a.m, and we had 50 cents left, and we're like, okay, it's time. We're gonna buy like a bag of chips or
Wow.
something from the vending machine. And so my buddy went into the restroom. I bought the bag of chips. It was actually chili cheese Fritos.
Solid choice.
And by the time that he had made it back to the bus, I had eaten the entire bag.
No, dude. Can't do that.
I told myself I was going to eat half the bag and then give him the rest. And it was one of those things. I went in
Blacked out.
and I couldn't stop myself.
I would kill you. I would kill you.
Dude. I probably would have killed me too. That's why I was, I don't know how he's still my friend, but yeah, ever since that day, just chili cheese Fritos, they hit the spot. they take me to my lowest hour there. I was near death, but they revived me. So
that's what a trauma attachment is.
Yeah, exactly. So somehow through that story, the name Vagabond came about. So
oh man, how you lucked out that you're not like chili cheese,
dude. I wish that's an awesome name.
Or like Frito Lay, Frito Man. I know. I heard Vagabond.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
I thought it's definitely not as bad as it could be. I thought it was a little out of the blue, but
it is.
Yeah, it works.
It is. I kind of want to call you Vagabond every time. I don't know why. Just in my mind, Vagabond is the name. That and Comprende. I do call you that and call Comprende Vagabond all the time.
Yeah, we're easily confused for each other. His mom thought I was him.
For real?
Morning. Yeah, we were rocking by their house, and she was like, "Comprende," or no, I think she said Andre.
I would hope so.
And he's like he wasn't even in our group.
Yeah.
And so I just turned, and she was like very clearly like talking to me.
Yeah.
I was just like, hi. Then yeah, she realized after the fact that she was trying to embarrass him, but she actually kind of embarrassed herself. So,
That's
um,
encouraging to know that it's not just me, but even his own mother confuses the two of you.
yeah. So
The thing is, I know who the two of you are. It's just the name. Like each of you have a name that in my mind is like I think they're both like 3-syllable names,
Yep.
straightforward and like random words that I never use outside of F3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nope. I get it.
Anyway.
So.
All right. Well, hey, you mentioned kind of the way that for F3 the workout is the magnet that attracts the first F attracts, the second F is the glue that binds, and how the third F is the catalyst that changes. Talk a bit about the way that you have moved through the three Fs and what acceleration and growth has looked like for you over the past year.
Sure. So, you know, somewhat like simultaneously with my F3 journey, I guess, whatever. You know, I've been really convicted just in other areas of my life to kind of step up as a you know, a man and a leader. You know, I'm a Christian, and I think that I'm called to step up and mature, and to constantly be maturing, never, you know, stop. And I don't know, I just, that message had never really been something that was preached to me in church or outside of church before, and it was kind of weird how they hit at the same time.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence at all, but so just trying to lean into that. I'm not the most you know, outgoing guy. I'm not, you know, I hate public speaking. I hate, you know, leading a group of guys doing anything. Even doing stuff like this isn't, you know, I'm not the most comfortable doing, but um, just kind of leaning into the discomfort a little bit has been,
Yeah.
I've felt the growth, and I've seen kind of some of the results in my life
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
You know, whether that be with my family, you know, my you know, making comments about how she's seen uh, change, or, you know, random people just, you know, say, hey, keep it up, or, you know, whatever. Um, and, you know, ultimately I feel like I'm, you know, just kind of, this is a lifelong, you know, journey, right? And I feel like I've just kind of like dipped my toes into this, you know, this concept of you know, growth and leadership, and
Yeah.
but it feels good. I think it feels good because it's, you know, in alignment with what I was created to do. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been cool. I've always enjoyed fellowship. You know, the second F aspect of our group here. Always love a good, you know, hangout. I never thought I'd have, you know, a group of friends. You know, relatively new to Marysville still. Only been here for a few years, and yeah, just never thought I would have such a network of like actual friendships. You know, like these
Yeah.
are not just like, oh, I've got a lot of friends. You know, it's not just a bunch of numbers. Like you
Yeah.
know, consider a lot of you guys like true friends, and that's just really feels really good. You know, it's I, you know, love relationships. I was, it felt good. Whoever made that comment um, about, you know, intentional or whatever with the relationships or whatever, that's just always been something that my heart has. I feel like um, a push towards just kind of building
Yeah.
relationships with people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've felt that from other guys in this group, you know, towards me, and so that fellowship aspect of things really, um, you know, accelerated, I think, the growth pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly following after that first F.
Yeah. 100%.
And then the faith, yeah, I don't know. I kind of already covered that a little bit, but I think F3 has just kind of helped me, get out of my shell a little bit, and you know, uh, whether it be helping lead a Bible study at church, or
Yeah.
you know, um, I don't know, just even talk, having hard conversations with family members, and being a little bit more outspoken about, hey, this is something that uh, I feel convicted to share, or
Yeah.
talk about, or whatever. Those type of things have really I've seen a lot of growth there, and I think that's a lot due to this group here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Very much so. Yeah, that's awesome, and I couldn't agree more with the idea that by leaning into the difficult and leaning into challenges and seeking discomfort, and how
Mhm.
that's one of the best ways that we grow. I talked last week at a workout about the idea that strong men build strong homes build strong neighborhoods, strong cities, strong state, strong nations. But those things begin though with strong men who can build strong homes, and to
Sure.
do that, it requires intentional leadership. And so many men, it seem, genuinely struggle with the idea that they were designed to lead in their home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that if you aren't leading there, that there's a dearth of leadership. There's a lack of leadership in that space, and something or someone will fill it,
Sure.
right? And so I think I'm with you. F3 is a great space for men to practice what it means to lead, and to lead from a place of true love, and commitment for those around you. So with that kind of idea in mind, though, about this how being challenged by other men, growing by being around other men, I wonder who comes to mind for you, Vagabond, as a guy who you can count on to push you. Like, who's gonna challenge you, maybe physically, maybe spiritually? Like, who's somebody in your life, maybe a guy that we all know, maybe someone in your life outside of F3, you can count on to push you?
Mm-hmm. I'm pausing because there's several guys. Um, I mean, the first that comes to mind is VP.
Yeah,
We were uh, friends before this group, and we've shared some experiences together that I feel like we just have that kind of level of trust, and the ability to just kind of call each other out. I probably could do a better job being a little bit more outspoken, but I appreciate VP kind of mentioning, hey, uh, just maybe shift your focus here. Maybe it's maybe you're a little bit out of alignment with
yeah,
your mission, or whatever. Especially coming from a guy who's so busy, and I know he's that type of person for so many of the other guys in the group too. So
yeah,
um, yeah, him, I would say, you know, uh, Turtle Dove comes to mind.
yeah,
Um, Turtle Dove and Precious, I would say.
mm,
We've had some really good conversations together uh, at the cafeteria.
yeah,
Shout out cafeteria. If you haven't come, you should, because it's a great time. I really enjoy it. Do I really love the Q source stuff? Not really, to be honest. It's kind of like my least favorite part of F3.
yeah,
Um, but I think the conversations that come out of those
yep,
topics
yep,
are one of my favorite things about F3. So
yeah, for sure.
having those guys, being able to just kind of really sit down and get into some details about things we're dealing with, relate with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, and just being able to kind of continue with those conversations, and yeah, I guess to answer your question, I don't know if they're like specifically like trying, you know, trying to push me to grow more or whatever,
Sure.
but it's kind of a maybe an unintentional consequence of just the relationship and the conversations that we've had. So
Yeah.
Little John, from just a fitness and just kind of a grit aspect, getting out and grinding a
Mhm.
little bit. I mean, the fitness part of this thing is, I said it's kind of the least important to me, but it's still very important. Like um, one of the, I said I was convicted last summer. I was convicted by like dying on a hillside because I was fat. So, um, you know, being able to just have a guy like Little John just alongside of you, pushing you, and
Mm.
making you feel like you're not the craziest man in the group.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. And back to just what this group means to me. It's um, you don't feel so crazy when you're out there challenging yourself and doing. Why did you run a half marathon? Well, I don't know, but there's a bunch of other guys that did it too. So I feel a little less
Yeah.
isolated in
Yeah.
that stupidity, I guess. As stupid as it may have been, but um, so yeah, just having guys like him been really good. My fitness has been, um, I feel pretty good, other than like some minor injuries and things here and there.
Yeah.
All around it, I'm in much better shape there as well than I was
Yeah.
last. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. You
Lots
saying
of
that?
guys.
Yeah. You saying that makes me think about a couple ideas, right? One is that classic quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Right. And I think now that I'm around some dudes that are pretty awesome, I hope that's the case.
Yeah,
Like when you
yeah,
surround
certainly.
yourself with people who are genuinely good people, it just increases the chance that you become a genuinely good person. You know, um,
I
and
was. This is a weird segue
yeah,
thing, but it's funny. It was actually you. My mom was at the pool with us, and
yeah,
you were there, and you came up and introduced yourself, and very pleasant with my mom and things, and like it's nice to have guys just to be like, yeah, that's my friend.
hmm,
Mhm.
I've got like a group of like normal, well, semi-normal, um, responsible, respectable men
mm,
around me.
yeah,
It's I don't know. It's like it's just nice to like be able to have that. When it's not like my group of college buddies who you're like, stay in the stay over there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I don't know. I don't know where
yeah,
I was going with that, but it kind of just came to mind too.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you on that. There's something, and I don't know if this is a word you'd use, but as I think about it, it's a very at the risk of sounding sappy, it's a really safe feeling. Like
Mm-hmm.
knowing there are other genuinely strong men, emotionally, physically, spiritually, who can pick you up. Right? Who, like, if you're the sixth in some area of life, like, they won't leave you there.
Sure.
And that's our idea. One of our ethos, right, is that we won't leave you where we found you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could not be more true with the men of the Union. I think we do a great job at that, and that's one of the things I love about this group, for sure,
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
sure. All right, man. Hey, on a different direction here, tell us a bit about your personal life. Married. I know you've got. Is it one kid?
3.
I was off by 2. Tell us a little bit about personal life, how you met your wife.
Yeah. Sure.
Give us that.
Yeah, so I'm married, have 3 kids. They are 6, just turned 6, just turned 4, and about to turn 2. 2 girls and a boy. And then, yeah, I met my wife. It's kind of long story. We have known each other since we were like little kids. Our families used to go to the same church growing up, just for a short period of time. And she's the youngest of 5, and her oldest sister was like in college at the time, and I started playing violin at a pretty young age, and her sister was a violin instructor, so started taking lessons out there at their house. We kind of became family friends, whatever. Stopped going to the same church. I started playing violin somewhere else with a professor at a university, so we stopped that kind of relationship. And yeah, didn't really see her, know about her up until I think it was my junior year of high school. Her brother, her older brother at the time, well, I'm still, started coming to our church again.
Yeah.
And we kind of, him and I started hanging out. He invited us out to their house for just like a volleyball game night type thing, and kind of re-met Olivia. I didn't remember her, honestly. I
Ooh,
had faint
ouch.
memories of the. It's funny, we actually have a picture of us 2 standing together at a like a violin recital. So
Yeah.
we were like 5 years old. So
Oh wow, that's cool.
but yeah, so we re-met. We were just kind of friends for a few years, and then started dating my freshman year of college. I went to Ohio State. I got a degree in landscape architecture, and we dated for 2 years, and then we actually got married between my junior and senior year of college. So, and yeah, so now, I still work at the same architecture firm that I started out at as
Yeah.
an intern in school. There in Columbus, and yeah, we moved out to Marysville in 2021, bought a house, and yeah, uh, we actually had our first daughter, about 11 months after we got married on graduation day.
Man,
I didn't go to graduation, so
wow,
which
y'all,
was
y'all got
actually
after
great.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Messing
Cool.
around.
Cool,
So
cool.
yeah, that's
You guys should have
legit.
stopped in Bluffton earlier
I know.
in your
I
marriage and
was
gotten some
gonna
of those Duramax condoms.
say.
So, Vagabond, you said you have a degree in landscape architecture.
Yes, sir.
What does a landscape architect do?
We just trim bushes.
That's what I assumed.
Shut up.
No. Yeah, everybody hears landscape, which there's nothing wrong with trimming bushes, by the way. But
Unless your name's
you don't
Midriff.
you don't need a degree for it.
The number of
No.
times though that I thought like, what if I just quit my job and was like, Midriff, will you hire me?
Oh yeah.
I want to work with my hands. I want to be
Yeah.
outside. I want to
Yeah.
just have a project. I want to start and finish that day. Put me to
Yep.
work.
Shrink, just do it for one day, and I think you'll be happy with your with where you're at in life.
that might actually be the worst, right? Like I tell him I'm gonna quit my job, come work for him. I do it for one day, and I'm like, that was fun. I'm gonna go back to my job in a nice
I'm good,
office
bro.
with a
I'm
nice
good.
couch. And,
I'm sure
back
he'll.
here now.
Hey, I'm sure he'll take free help, or he might even pay you for a day just for you to
You pay
really
him for
internalize
the
that.
experience.
Ooh, we may have just found the next money making approach for Midriff's company.
For all them city boys, we
Yeah.
offer manual labor for a cheap rate of
Feeling tied down to your
$40
desk
an
job,
hour.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
good way to make you super thankful for what you're doing in life.
So this is a thing that landowners in the West and definitely in Alaska, I think they'll own thousands of acres, and they will set up a hunt for you, a big game hunt,
Mm-hmm.
where you can go hunt for things like buffalo, and they're in like enclosed pens. But, they're hundreds of acres wide, but there's
Right.
6 buffalo in there, and they give you the experience, right? The illusion of going on a huge hunt.
Yeah.
So
They
we
have
might have an
private
idea.
hunts even in Hocking Hills. Like, it's a pretty prolific industry.
Do they in Hocking Hills even, really?
Yep. It's funny. It's like you have to pay to do it, and then I think you still have to pay for the animal that you get.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So it's like, that's some rich people behavior right there.
It
If
is.
I've ever seen it.
It very much is, right? People that want the I like the idea of something more than actually doing the thing.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Vagabond, I don't remember where we were.
Yeah.
With the,
What do I
question
do?
there. Yes.
Yeah, so landscape architecture in short is basically like designing. It can be actually a lot of things, but the firm that I work for, what we do as landscape architects is basically designing like public spaces, like outside. So it could be like parks or, streetscapes or, water park or golf course, things like that. Just outdoor spaces, everything between the buildings. But
Nice.
what I do though is a little different. I started out as a landscape architect, and urban designer is the title because you have to get a license, you have to take an exam and stuff to be titled licensed landscape architect. But hadn't done that yet. But urban designer was my title, and then recently I've kind of morphed into this new role. So the firm that I work for, we have architecture, like the traditional, building architecture, landscape architecture, urban design, and then we have a bunch of the engineering divisions, civil engineering, mechanical, electrical, MEP, things like that. And what I do is basically build things in the computer, things being whatever it is that our company is working on. So whatever project, and I make real life, looking images or like 3D environments. So, if it's a building, I'll create a Revit model of the building, and you can walk through the building in your VR headset, or we'll do like I do a lot of like bridge design. Like we just did a glass bridge for it's like a Hocking Hills type, like Old Man's Cave. They're doing ODNR is doing this like glass bridge over this ravine. Basically, you can look down to the chasm below. So what I'm designing, what I'm building is very diverse, just depending on the project. I just really enjoyed kind of that aspect of what I did as a landscape architect. So I kind of took that
urban designer
and now am applying it. Yes, exactly. Can't get away with that one.
I got you. Don't worry. You won't get sued here.
Trust me. The bush trimming joke, like, is kind of a joke, but also like people hear the word landscape and they think I'm just landscaping, which they're like, why do you have an office if you're just landscaping? And I'm like, have you seen my hands? Like, I'm a little wuss.
Yeah, soft hands.
Yeah, so
soft hands.
Yeah, so I just kind of, I guess, design stuff in the computer, and then and it helps people see what it's going to look like before it gets built.
All right. Well, let me ask you this then: what is the biggest drama in the landscape architect space right now? Like, what's a heated topic? What gets people going? If you go to an architect, landscape, urban designer conference, what's the thing they're like? Can you believe this?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't go to those conferences.
What's your hot take?
So it's kind of funny because most of the people in the industry are like environmentalist, very like green hippie type people.
Yeah.
I'm like the the far opposite of that. So
Use all the resources.
yeah, like
Use them all right now.
I'm
This
all about-
intersection could really use like 5
Yeah.
Chevys just rolling coal.
More lanes.
Absolutely. So
Are there some trees somewhere I can cut down? Or were there
yeah, right.
some more trees?
This place needs a parking
Public
lot.
transit. Who wants to ride in a freaking bus? Give me a motorcycle or a car. Jeez. No. Yeah, I guess I don't probably fit the stereotype of, the designers in our office, but it's probably a good thing I kind of got out of the landscape space, and now I'm like a half engineer, half architect. I'm just kind of a floater. I just float around, and it's fun for me because I get to be involved on the fun stuff, the fun side of a project, and then
Yeah.
pass it off to the smart people to actually figure out how to build it. So
Nice.
yeah, low liability on my end.
All right. Well, we will keep your secret here that you actually want the world to burn.
Yeah, we'll keep
music-
it secret on this publicly available podcast.
Who is
They all they know.
what's your dream? Like, what is your, if there was one thing in the world that people would know you were responsible for designing, what's that thing?
Oh man, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. I work on a lot of fun little projects like that.
Mm.
That little glass bridge. I don't care about being known for anything. But
What about the park in Dublin with the rabbits?
yeah,
Another one.
the
That
dancing rabbits.
yeah, it's that, but it's your face
Mm,
instead of rabbits.
yes. One of our designers, they designed a similar hill that has a path that goes up it, but at the top it was a giant cherry. So
Mm.
and it was called Cherry Hill.
Ah,
So they thought that was clever. But
I'm sure they did.
A
yeah,
little on the nose, I have
Yeah.
to say.
no, yeah, I don't really have any favorite or things I want to be known for.
Alright.
It's fun. I'm not good at drawing, but I like to make pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So the computer is my avenue for being creative, I guess. But
All right.
yeah, it helps other people see things that they might not be able to imagine. So
Well, work on dreaming bigger, please.
yeah, I'll try.
Chop
When-
chop.
When you win
If-
him
if this-
next time, you better have an answer for us.
Oh yeah, sure. Thinking hard.
All right, Vagabond. Are there any words of wisdom, suggestions that you would give the men of the union with how to maintain acceleration in life?
I feel like maintain is the key. I'm trying to figure that out myself right now.
Yeah.
I would say, and this is something again that I probably need to take my own advice here, but find other men who seem to be able to they've been maintaining it for a
Mm.
longer period and emulate them. Ask them questions and how have they managed to not burn out, or if they have
Yeah.
burnt out, how did they get back from that?
Yeah.
What are the pitfalls, things like that. I think we can learn a lot from each other in that way. So not just trying to figure it out on your own. That's something that this group too is super, super helpful. Just to be able to bounce things off of each other, hey, I'm struggling with this. And sometimes there's no answer. There's no oh yeah, this is, here, I have a solution for you. But it's just being able to voice the things you're struggling with.
Yeah.
And know that there's a group of guys who kind of know what you're going through right now.
Yep.
They're aware of it, I guess.
Yep.
Mentally, that kind of, for me at least, kind of keeps me afloat. It's I know I know there's guys out there. There's a whatever life raft there if I need it. So
For sure.
yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
all I've got.
Yeah, no, that's a great piece of advice. I came across recently the idea that, or someone who talked about how pilots communicate, and how, I don't know what you guys assumed. I assumed that they just had like super extra fancy radars. Like they must just have access to things that we don't have access to down here on the ground. And this guy explained that pilots are continually passing information backwards, right? So if you're flying from New York to LA, there's somebody who's on the West Coast about to land who's relaying information back to somebody who's over Montana, to the guy who's flying over Illinois, to the person who's just taken off in New York, right? And so there is someone further ahead in the journey than you are, who's able to say, they can't tell you exactly what's going to happen to you when you get to that spot in the journey, but they can tell you what to expect, right?
Sure.
The type of weather you might find yourself flying into. And that idea has been the catalyst to me trying to be much more intentional over the past few months to reach out to men who are further along than me in life. And that doesn't just have to be somebody who's older than you, right? But somebody who has their finances sorted out, right? Somebody who has their marriage sorted out, somebody who has their faith sorted out. And anybody who's even a step ahead of you in life, right? A step ahead of us, they have some information, right? They've been somewhere we've not been yet. And they probably have some data they could pass back that'd be helpful to us.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that's an excellent idea and a great challenge to the men of the union tonight. All right, Vagabond, have you any closing thoughts?
I'm tired.
Amen, brother.
That's a great way to wrap it up. Shrink and Jenna have effectively sucked every bit of energy out of me tonight.
It's a high energy podcast. We'll
I was
be
there
worn
before you guys hopped on, so it's all good. No.
Yeah.
No. Last thoughts. Just you know, if I didn't say it before, it's an honor to be here. I like it's I said this to Shrink in my little shout out to him about him deserving him of the month. There's so many guys, both of you guys on screen that do so much regularly that I think it just kind of goes unnoticed. And so, and that that's part of maturity, right? Like people come to expect that from you, and I hope to be that guy someday who maybe it goes a little unnoticed. So yeah, just appreciate you guys and everyone else out there who's there for me and for the rest of this group. So appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, your message to me was really encouraging. And it also it made me think about, I think it's some college coach. I don't think it's Belichick. Somebody has this quote that the standard is the standard, right? And the idea that should be what you're working towards is that people are expecting the standard from you, like that they are expecting that you're going to show up in a reliable, consistent, constant way. And when that becomes your standard, right, that your standard is that you're going to meet that every time. But that requires, though, I think a point that you made earlier, which is it requires consistency and the ability to not get too far out ahead of your skis. I think that one of the challenges in F3 is guys can get really excited about something and then just dive in a way that isn't sustainable, right? And then we get the Concentrica all out of whack at that point, and that causes its own challenges that hopefully we're all able to work through. I know I've been there myself as well. Vagabond, you've given us some excellent food for thought, man. It's been a great time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Jenna, you have any parting words for us tonight?
It's If you're going through hell, keep on going.
If you're going through hell, keep on going.
Like this Queen challenge.
Yeah. I love
Oh,
water
never.
so much.
This is way too much water. I'm
It's-
peeing way too much.
It's always too. Every single challenge is this. Drink a lot of water, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep drinking
much
water,
water.
dude.
Oh,
Just
Drinking water right now. And it's great.
this is the only time I've been on Little John's team, so we're gonna win.
You might win. You might win this time. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Now's
I don't
your
let the
chance.
team down.
Not your chance. Well, guys, we're gonna throw it to VP, who definitely is here right now, and is gonna just hop on and tell everybody to have a great time and to keep accelerating. I said it before you, VP.
Suck it.
all right, peace.
All right, that wraps up another episode of State of the Union. Thank you everybody for participating. Awesome stuff, Vagabond. Keep doing great things. Guys, set your sights on being the him of the month. If that's a goal for you, set your sights on it. Go do the work. Be there in the gloom. Be there for your brothers. Attend different events. Like, make it happen if it's something that you want to do. But until next time, always be accelerating.